The Chateau d'Amaroi, Mothers of Darkness, Episode 2, The Room with No Blueprints. They say the Chateau d'Amaroi was rebuilt stone by stone after the fire of 1873. Every arch, every corridor, and every numbered room. The Solvay's family architects were obsessive record keepers, the kind who measured staircases twice and cataloged every single hinge. Their blueprints are still preserved in the Belgian archives, crisp as the day they were drawn. And yet there's a room in the castle that appears in none of them. Not in the 1877 reconstruction plans, not in the 1890 renovations, not even in the 1932 structural survey, and not even in the wartime inventory when the Germans seized the estate. A room that should not exist. It began with a storm, the kind the Ardennes is famous for, wind that claws at the shutters, thunder that rolls through the forest, and something waking up. A maintenance worker was checking for leaks when he felt it. A draft, steady and cold, coming from a wall that should have been solid. He pressed his hand against the stone. It didn't feel like stone. It felt hollow and colder than the air around it. Not the cold of the weather, but the cold of a place that has been sealed for a very, very long time. He called for help, and they brought tools. And when they broke through the wall, the dust didn't billow out like it should have. It inhaled, just once, like something on the other side had been waiting. The chamber was small, perfectly square, and wrong in a way no one could really explain. The walls were smooth, too smooth, as if water had run over them for years, or maybe hands. The air was still, not stale and not old, just very still, like the room had been holding its breath. In the center of the floor was a carved pattern, not decorative and not random. It was a looping geometric design that made the eyes ache if you stared at it too long. It resembled the labyrinth motifs found in old Ardennes chapels, the ones the locals say were used to trap wandering spirits during the winter months. But this one was different, sharper and more deliberate, almost mathematical. There was no furniture, no dust, and no footprints, just that pattern and the sense that someone had stepped out only moments before. The workers arrived. When the team reported the room, the officials dismissed it immediately. Storage space, they said. Servants' quarters, architectural oversight. But when they checked the blueprints, every version, every revision, and every archived copy, the room was not there. Not even as a scribble or as a mistake. It just simply didn't exist. And that's when the workers refused to go back inside. But not because of anything they saw, but because of what they heard. A faint sound, but it wasn't a voice and it wasn't a whisper. It was something like a breath being drawn in and held, as if the room was waiting for someone to return. And the strangest part, the next morning when the foreman returned to seal the chamber, the wall was solid again, as if no one had ever broken through it at all. And still, we remember, the castle is real, and the legends are loud, and the truth, well, it's always there, waiting for us in the dark. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Mothers of Darkness. If you enjoy my content, please like, share, and follow for more.